Thanks for joining me. In this video, we are gonna go over the technology side of this 2024 Kia Seltos, kind of like a tech review or a tech know-how. We're gonna go over the driver's display, the infotainment center, and we're gonna go over some of the driver assistance features. So let's go get inside and take a look at it. Okay, so this is the new dash for the Kia Seltos. This was refreshed for 2024. Got a nice little ding to it, nothing too loud or annoying. So let's start here with the driver's display. So if you haven't been in a Kia or a Hyundai, this might look a little odd. If you have, then you are probably used to this by now, but they have the RPMs on the right side and the speedometer on the left. Sometimes that can be confusing for people. So you also have the center display that will show your miles per hour. So there's a few different features that are there, and I'm going to show you those right now. Now to change those, back here on the steering wheel, you've got this little page button. So we're going to push that, and that will cycle through these. So that is your compass, and that is the only thing on that page. Your information button. This is for your all-wheel drive. Tells you where the power is coming from on your wheels. If we press the up button right here, that will switch it to the tire pressure display. So press the page button again, takes us back. This is your driver assistance features. So this will have your adaptive cruise. We'll show the vehicle in front of you, how close they are, and what your distance is from them. And then back to this button out here. Now, if we cycle through using the OK button over here, this is going to show your accumulated trip information, which if you bought this new, it's going to be registering from the time that you took possession of it. Unless you reset this, it'll just keep accumulating information. So then if you go to the next one, is since refueling, this will reset whenever you fill your tank up with gas or you get gas. I'm not sure if there's an amount of gas that you have to put in to trigger it to reset, but you can reset this yourself. Otherwise, the car will reset it and it will display down here. The next one is your drive info. This will reset every time you start the car. I think if you stop and it is off for more than 3 minutes, it will reset. So the next time you get in, it'll be fresh again. You do have your speed limit sign right here, and you can set that in the infotainment screen to adjust your speed or give you the opportunity to adjust your speed, which is something that we will go over with the driver assistance features later in this video. And you can automatically slow you down, speed you up, that type of thing, but it'll also warn you what your speed limit is wherever you're at, which is really nice. And then you have your odometer down here, and on this other side over here has your distance to empty. You do have the temperature across the bottom also. This is nice. You do have automatic headlights, and it does do your automatic dimming and brights when there's someone approaching you. This is really nice, easy to use. All right, so on the steering wheel, so real quick, this is your adaptive cruise settings, and you also have your lane centering settings. This is also equipped with the highway driver assist, so that will be going over that with the driver assistance later on. And then you have your stocks up here that have all of your headlights. You can set your auto, you can set your fog lights on, and your wiper controls, and your rear wiper control is on here also. All right, so let's go check out this infotainment screen. This is nice. This is not the biggest screen that you can get, but it's the biggest screen in this Seltos that you can get. It does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but it is not wireless. It is wired through this USB spot right here, and this one over on this side is just to charge your phone only. So this one has your data cable and everything through there, so that's how that stuff will connect. But this is kind of your calm screen, and this is really nice because with this calm screen, You have your time, shows you if you are playing something on your phone or something like that, it'll list it across the bottom, or if you're using satellite radio, something like that, it'll have that on there. And then you have a small little like faded out map over here, which is it's just a nice screen to have on all the time. It's not bright, it doesn't affect you, and gives you the information that you really kind of need unless you are traveling and you need navigation. Now, to do this, all we're going to do is we're just going to swipe, and that brings up all of this stuff. So you have your navigation, and go back to your home screen. Here's your navigation menu. So if you have stuff saved, you can actually go right to Kia dealerships. We've got a lot of stuff in here. Let you know about traffic. You can set up points of interest, things like that. Save things that you want to go, cancel your routes. All of that stuff is all right here. You have your favorite buttons across the bottom that you can plug in, which is really nice. If we go back and inside your map, basically the same thing here. You can hit search. You can put in the address, whatever you need to do there. So navigation's pretty easy to use. Here's your phone button. You do have a phone projection. So this is where your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay comes into play. You can see it says USB, and that's where you're going to use that USB plug right down here. That's going to connect to there, and it's going to project that onto the screen. A voice memo, so you can click on that, and you can record yourself for however long, and it has up to 128 megabytes of space. So you can leave yourself a message. It's kind of interesting. Climate controls, bring that up. You do have a few options here. So you can actually set the air to recirculate whenever you use your washer fluid. You can set it to automatically dehumidify and auto defog. You can see here it's set on auto on the lowest setting. And then you can set this one to, for your head, legs, whatever you would want, wherever you want those items to be. But just know that on auto, it will try to recirculate and keep the cabin temperature throughout the car. You turn your AC on here, you can adjust your temperature here. But the thing is you really don't have to go into that to get to this. You have all of these buttons right down here. Very easy to use. So you don't have to do everything up there. You do have quick buttons down here too if you just need to go to your map or navigation. All right, so we'll go back here. Next thing you have is valet mode. Of course, if you want to restrict what the person that's parking your car can do in your car, you can press that. You do that, then I do not want to activate it. It will restrict speed, I think, the way the car behaves so that they can't go joyriding in it. Quiet mode, not sure what quiet mode is. Let's go check out quiet mode. So it only provides sounds to the front seats. So I guess if you have children in the back, then this would be great because then you can still hear your stereo up front while they are sleeping in the back, and it'll be a little bit quieter for them and not disturb them. Go back. Sound mood lamp. What does this do? Okay, so is this on? So we can turn that on, and this is going to be your ambient lighting, I believe. So you can do a whole color theme, Midnight City, Cafe. That's pretty interesting. And then depending on how bright you can set the brightness, and you can have it adjust to the music. So let's try this out and see what that looks like. Right now it's kind of daylight, so we probably won't be able to see that till later. You do have your HD radio, so you can turn that on. Traffic, Doppler radar, fuel prices. That's interesting. And you have your regular radio. You can switch that over. That's how you get to your satellite radio and regular radio settings. So then we're going to go to setup. In your setup, you have your vehicle settings. This is where you set up your driver assistance features. So some of the features I was talking about a little earlier, we're going to talk about those a little bit more right now. So your driving convenience, you turn that on. So this is going to keep you in your lane. This is your highway driver assist. So when you are out on the interstate, it will keep the car in the center of the lane, following the lanes and the cars in front of you. And at that time, if you need to take your hands off the wheel, you can. It will remind you when you need to put your hands back on the wheel. We have found out a lot of times, more than not, that we can go sometimes 10, 15, 20 miles. We've even driven 30 minutes without it ever telling us to put our hands on the wheel. I love it. There's no eye tracker, so you don't have to worry about something yelling at you constantly. The put your hands on the wheel usually only tells us if it's windy and it's having a problem keeping it self-centered, or there is a vehicle next to you that seems like it's a little too close. It'll tell you to take the wheel. But this system has been awesome, and we generally don't have to put our hands on the wheel. I don't know. It's probably not the way that it's set up the way that it should be, but we love it. We think it's awesome, and it's one of our favorite driver assistance features. Highway auto speed change. So what this does is it automatically adjusts the vehicle speed on a highway based on the navigation data. So in the navigation, if it tells it that it's changing to 65, it will take you from 75 to 65, or whatever the speed limit may be. Let's go back out here and we can go to driver safety. So your driver safety, so we've got this all listed right down here, but I'm clicking on those individually. So you've got forward safety, you've got forward warning. It will automatically brake you if you are getting close to a collision. It will also let you know if there is a cyclist or a pedestrian in front of you. So that is really nice. It's really safe. Blind spot monitoring. The difference with this one is this blind spot monitoring on a lot of Hyundais and Kias, but in their upper trims, but now it's more on the upper models with upper trims. They will do the blind spot monitoring cameras on here. This one does not have that. So what it does is it just has the little insignia in the mirror, which I hope you can see that. I will try to show it at another time. So that's your blind spot monitoring here. It's just a standard blind spot monitoring. The ones in the dash are really nice because you can see down the whole length of the car, and that is a whole nother level of driver assistance on that, the highway driver assist. That will actually change lanes on its own. Exit safety is a really nice feature. This will actually let you know by using sensors if there is a vehicle or someone or something beside you in the car. So it will actually see and make sure it's safe for you to open your door and get out without something maybe hitting you, hitting the car, something like that. So that's pretty nice. Speed limit. So we go to the speed limit. This is something we just talked about. Speed limit assist, it'll adjust the vehicle speed based on the current speed limit on the road. So this will do that, and then you can set the speed limit warning. So you can either have it warn you that you've gone over the limit, or you can have it not do that, which is nice. And then if you shut it off completely, it won't do anything. So you can also set the offset. So right now we have it set on 5 miles per hour. So when it asks me to, it will flash up on the screen and say, would you like to, basically it'll give you an arrow up and say, if you hit the up button, I will take you to that speed limit that you have set, which is 5 miles per hour over. So if it's 55, hit the button, it'll automatically take me to 60. Pretty nice feature, pretty quick. The only downfall is when you're coming into town, it's not going to register that until you get to the speed limit sign. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that, because you don't want to be coming into a town at 60 miles an hour, then see a 35 mile an hour speed limit sign, and then try to hit the button to go down to that, and then the car slow itself down. By that point, you're probably, if there's a police officer sitting there, they're still going to pull you over because you were going way too fast. So just keep that into account. It's better for when you're accelerating out of a town and the speed limit changes or something like that. Real quick, touch the button and it'll jump it right up from 45 all the way up to 60 because it's 5 miles over what the speed limit is at that point. Driver attention warning. So if we go to that, that basically is letting you know about the vehicles that are in front of you. So if a car leaves early or leaves a stop, this will actually notify you that you can pull forward, or it's your turn to go. The car in front of you moved, so go ahead. The other one is if you drift over the lines too many times, it will pop up this coffee symbol and tell you that you need to take a break or pay better attention. One of the two. All right, and then we got parking safety. So you got all kinds of safety sensors around here, and this one does have the rear cross safety traffic notification. So if somebody's going to be crossed behind you, it will send you a beep and notify you that someone is behind you, so you don't back up and run into them or someone else. Done with that there. That was the vehicle. So there's your navigation again. You know, you got your sound setups right here. Dynamic speed compensation. This is actually pretty interesting because if you are turning, it will turn the stereo down until you make your turn, and when the turn signal goes off, then volume comes back up. It's a really nice feature. You slow down to looking for a business or somewhere to park or something like that, it will bring the volume down, so it's not so much stuff being loud and in your face. You can set the positioning. You've got your tone settings, and then guidance. Set it to turn the volume down when it gives you a notification of a direction you need to go. Or radio noise, you can have this original sound. So basically you'll hear the stereo, you'll hear the outside wind, you'll hear everything outside. Then minimum noise reduction basically sends out a counteracting signal through the speaker system that will cover up some of the road noise. And then you set it to max, and then that'll give you your max compensation for road noise. So you hear more stereo, more everything else, and less of your road noise. You got your device connections. So in the device connections, this is where you're going to set up your phone. So you would go in and set up your Bluetooth, connect your phone. Pretty simple to do. It basically tells you everything. You can play voice prompts during the Bluetooth process. This one, Bluetooth system info, just kind of tells you this is what the name of it is. It's going to be on your phone like that. It's going to give you a pass key on your phone that matches up, and you just enter those in. And then your phone projection settings. Like I said, this is where you do Android Auto and Apple CarPlay through this area right here. And then go back out. User profile. So you can set up a user profile in this. So if you select driver 1, put your name in, you can put an image if you want to, links your Kia account, your digital key, and that way when you get in the car, you can set itself up to the way you like to drive. Voice recognition, of course, not an issue there. I don't usually use that. A lot of people I don't think even bother with that too often. You can set up your screen layout. So you can have it linked to the drive mode, which is nice. You can turn that off. And so this is actually your display. So we're going to look at that right there. So this is classic. And then if we go to classic B, all right, so that's your sport mode, it looks like. This is probably your smart mode there, and that's classic C. And then you got dynamic. Wow, that's pretty nice. What do you guys think about that? I really do like that. That's all digital, and you don't have to have your miles per hour in the middle if you don't want to, I guess, because it's going to be digital over there. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go back. Screensaver on here, which this basically says none. You can have a digital clock on there like that, or you can have an analog clock. Split screen. This will give you weather, calendar, compass, and then this will all split that with your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay if you set it up that way. Display. Illumination, you set your brightness and everything. You do have a blue light filter that you can actually turn on here and have it set at a scheduled time or automatic. And then you have your camera settings, which you can use to extend your rear view monitor. So you can actually make it look a little bit different and rear parking lines. You can turn those on and off. And then you can adjust the brightness and contrast on whether at night and daytime. All right, what is the button? So you can, this is where you set up your custom buttons if you want those on there. So you have custom buttons for your navigation, for your steering, a custom mode button. So you got a few custom buttons in there. That's pretty nice that you can actually put on the screen and easy connect. This is a Kia Connect. I'm not going to turn that on, but we can go to General here. General is going to give you your software information, system info, date and time, language, and your keyboard. We swipe one more time. No, in this we cannot swipe more, so you're going to go back. And we're going to go down here. We've already been to our setup. We're going to swipe this. This is where your smart keys that we were just looking at. You can program those keys in right here that you can just quickly hit them and go to what you need to. Quick little rundown down here. This has all your climate control, so you don't have to use the climate control up there. So you do have AC and you've got your temperature adjustments. This is not a dual zone climate control. I guess because of the size of this vehicle, they didn't feel that they needed it. And so then you have all your quick buttons across the bottom here. Get wherever you need to, your tune, your volume, everything's right there. And back here, this does have heated and ventilated seats in this model. You do have your camera button right here. We can hit that. That does pop that up right there. And you do have a couple options. There's an overview and then the rear. So that's really about the only options you have there. Well, that's all the tech stuff here on the screen, steering wheel, that type of stuff. Let's check out the driver assistance features and we'll go see how well they actually perform. Okay, so first thing we are going to do is get up to speed. And you can see on the screen right now, you do have lane keep assist on there. So it's going to let you know if you are getting out of the lines, and it is going to push you back over just like it did there and told me get your hands on the wheel. So good safety feature right there. Same thing, we're gonna go over here. It's gonna push us back over and it's gonna alert us and tell us to keep our hands on the wheel. So it did a really good job there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is let's get speed set. Let's just say 58 here. That's a good speed to set at. So that is locked in. You can see that on top. You can see at the top of the screen that it also has right up here your distance from the car in front of you. We can also change that on the center screen here so you can see that a little bit better. Okay, now we're going to turn on lane centering. So that is going to be this button right here. So now we have lane centering. So now this is going to keep us in the middle of the lane by reading the lines on the road. Now, one thing that's different here is you can see I have my hands off the wheel. This does not activate the highway driver assist at this point. It's only on the interstate. Now, the funny thing is you can see I still have not touched the wheel. Doing a great job keeping us in the center. It is a very, very windy day. You can see it kind of pushing us towards the center, and it said put your hands on the wheel. Mostly because of the wind was pushing us over to this center, and it didn't like it. You get a nice mild day. It's hard telling how long you can go before it tells you to put your hands on the wheel. But we do have a curve coming up here soon, and we'll see if it shows it on the display. But I am also going to let go of the wheel and see how it does going around this corner. There you can see it's showing on the screen speed limit and that there is a corner. It's going around the curve. Still has not told me to put my hands on the wheel. We are going around this curve. There it says put your hands on the wheel. Light touch of the wheel. Still keeps on going right on around. See how it straightens us back out. And there we are. We are now straight. So So we are still going. I still have not touched the steering wheel since we went around that curve. Now it has told me to put my hands on the wheel, and that was a good probably half mile down the road. So it's doing pretty decent. Like I said, this does have blind spot monitoring in the mirrors over here up in the corner, just like most standard ones do. It does not have the highway driver assist with the blind spot monitoring cameras on the sides that show up on your screen. But we are still driving without touching the wheel. See how much farther we can go like that. But you can see it did take that corner very well, and it did tell me to put my hands on the wheel when it couldn't control it anymore. Now we kind of bounced a little to the center and it's pulling us back. The wind is now behind us and it's not blowing on our side, and you can see we have still not touched the steering wheel. We are going on, I think, just about over a minute, and we have not had to touch the steering wheel. Still doing really well. Obviously, there is no eye tracker in here either. Still nothing. Still has not. There's the first time. So we're probably about 2 minutes in. I'm going to check, and I'll have it on the screen how long we actually drove without touching the steering wheel. So that is most of your basic driver assistance features. You can adjust your adaptive cruise. So that is your farthest point. You can pull that back. You have about 4 to 5 settings there. This is your kind of your standard of where you would actually sit. But, well, there you are. That is your driver assistance features. We are driving without our hands on the steering wheel. Once it tells me, okay, keep the hands on the wheel, going around the corner, and it's going to take it. It is holding around the corner. It's still telling me to put my hands on the wheel. I have not touched the wheel yet. Let's see what happens. Not. Okay, now it's warning me, put your hands on the wheel. Let's see what happens after that. Still warning, still warning. Nothing has changed other than it's warning me. Okay, it has deactivated lane centering, which so then it's just going to go back to lane keep assist and tell me to put my hands on the wheel again, but does not do anything about stopping the car. So not sure that that is a very good safety system. All right, guys. So I guess don't know what else to say about that. Might be something you need to think about. All right, so this is our highway driver assist. You can see up at the top of the screen that it does say HDA. That means that it is reading the lines, putting you center line. It knows that it's on an interstate, and you don't have to, it will pretty much drive itself. It does pop up every once in a while, put your hands on the wheel, but we have found that a lot of times we can drive for long periods of time without putting our hands on the wheel. And depending on your trim level and level of highway driver assist, sometimes you can actually do lane changes. Let's see, I don't think it's going to do the automatic lane changes with this one, because we don't have the blind spot monitoring on this one. If you had the blind spot monitoring on this one, then you would see the camera pop up right up on this side for your left side and over on the other side for the right side. When you have that, you can automatically make lane changes by turning on your turn signal, and it will change lanes on its own. But this one does not have that level of highway driver assist, so we can't do that function. But it is a very, very good system. And like, we are driving no hands on the wheel right now. Here's my other hand. One hand's holding the holding the camera, and we can see that we are driving there. It has told me to put my hands on the wheel, quick little touch, and we can go. It is relatively windy today. That may have something to do with it, but our Hyundai Tucson, actually I have driven for over half an hour without putting my hands on. I had to put my hands on the wheel. So the wind today, I think, has a little bit to do with it. It does feel like it's kind of pushing the car around, and it's struggling a little bit to try to stay inside the lines because of the wind. But that is your highway driver assist. And it only kicks in on the interstate. You do have lane centering, like you see, you have lane keep assist and lane centering on this when you're not on the highway. And it actually works in town also, so you don't have to disengage it. It'll automatically just stay on, and it's a pretty awesome system. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the driver assistance features and the technology on the inside with the driver's display and the infotainment screen. If you did, make sure you guys click the like button, hit subscribe so you see more on the other vehicles coming up, and then click on one of these videos that are up on the screen right here, because that's the next one YouTube says is perfect for you. And I believe you're going to like it also, so I will see you in the next one.